Good afternoon, everybody. Many people
Hello.
are. Right, South Africa got load shedding again, but at least there's a few South Africans on. Right, we're not going to be too long. I think we'll have a chance for questions in a few minutes. Quickly about the Telegram groups, we've got a huge amount of groups open now for the boards. Festina and Elise both hit their limits on the amount of groups they can belong to, which is 500. I've hit my limit on 2,400 and I deleted the few so I can add more groups. We're going to work it a little bit different. Either one of the three of us working on the groups as admins, Elise, Festina, or myself will be in one of the groups. Elise will open what she received and I will open on my side. We will only add Festina when the gifters start coming onto the board so that she can capture on the file. So you won't see Festina on all the groups, and then we'll add Liana also where we're starting to load gifters. She's, I think, under 200 groups at this stage, so she's still safe. But we will have to carefully manage the groups. I'm still busy going through my older messages and deleting old groups. So most of the new groups I will open myself, as Elise is already on the limit. Once the group is finished, the board spins, you may leave the group. I will also then, if I'm in the group, leave. If Elise is in the group, she will leave and make sure Festina is in the group so that she can capture the file for all the gifters. Working on the groups, there's a basic rule. If there's builders open, I give you guidance for builder 1 or 3, which will be confirmed to trickle up. If we decide to take builder number 2 and 4, it needs more profiles. And then we will put committed positions in there or sponsor profiles or people that we sponsor in. Just follow the guidance in each of the groups. Once you are out of the group, then we will make sure that that we do whatever is required after that. Then also on the groups, there's quite a few version 2 profiles that is in that perpetual boards who didn't load yet. We are following up with them. There's a few people who I'm not even going to bother with. If they don't want to work with us, they're not going to work in future as well. Just another thing, if I open a group and the legend do not want to cooperate, I will in the group say you can leave the group and we won't work on that board. People then affected, the guides and the builders on that board, I will request a direct message from them so that I can give you a profile on another board. Once that legend is eventually removed, then we will go back to that board again. So if there's no cooperation from a legend, there's not going to be any work done on the board. Then the next thing, the guides. If your side of the board splits and you become a new legend and you want to work on that board, send me a photo and request a board group so that we can open it for you. It will then immediately double the groups, but we will manage it so that we've got somebody responsible and can help with guidance in each of the groups. If there's guidance needed where Elise is the admin of the group or the owner of the group, she will communicate in a private message with me and I will then tell her what to do, and then she will post, or she will forward the message from me to the group if I can't get into the group. My limit, unfortunately, is 2,400, and I only got 49 spots currently open, and there's more than 49 groups that I need to open. So if Elise forward a message from me, it's the same as if I post myself, if you ask for guidance. There's quite a few boards that we're going to close in the next few days again. We loaded a few version 2s recently, I think 3, but there is still 6 outstanding, and then a few boards that's going to close soon. That's concerning the chat groups. Any questions on the chat groups? quickly before I go on with the rest of the stuff I wanted to share with you. Everybody understands how the groups are going to operate?
Yes, thank you.
Good. Right. I am going to make another training recording on how to build a board. All the little training videos that I made about 2 weeks ago is posted on the channel. Go look at them if you've got any inquiries. I am going to make a separate video. It may be between 10 and 15 minutes long, which will be very, very important next year. And that's the way that we're going to build boards hopefully from the 1st of March onwards. If I find a board where and I'm talking about any board, maybe a board where there's a migrated profile or one of the profiles that we registered in the first two or 3 weeks of Gift of Legacy, somewhere in January. It may be on any of the other vehicles. If I don't have cooperation and communication from the builders or the guides, we will get one link somewhere on that from somebody on that board. We're going to chain them. So we're going to fill the whole board with Seeds of Love, Auxilio, sponsor profiles, or people that we want to sponsor in. And we are going to chain them. I will give you a detailed explanation with photos and little videos of how to chain a board. Previously, before the one side split off, it was easy because you could chain all 8. Now it's a little bit more tricky because Gift of 4, if they confirmed, can't send out a link for Gift of 5. So we send it out from 3. You don't confirm 4. But that will be covered in a training call that I will record somewhere during the next week or so. Prepare your boards for the rain that's coming. I said that many, many times. I may or may not know the future. Prepare yourself for movement. There's a few changes. It's very good for Gift of Legacy. Currently, we're in phase 3 of compression. There's 7 phases. That must be finished. And then I think the next thing they're going to work on is so that we can change our own details, phone numbers and usernames and email addresses. So be patient. It's a lot of work that's going on behind the scenes. A lot of work. That's concerning next year. Christina, there was something else. What is it? What am I forgetting? Christina fell asleep. Scary. Another thing that I picked up in some of the chat groups is that spirit of negativity or scarcity. I said on one of the motivational calls how I can see if somebody's living in a spirit of scarcity is the way they type messages. Don't ask in the group, where's your 2 people? They will come. We will fill all the boards one by one. If the people on the board is working with us. If you don't have cooperation, then I'm not working on a board. Easy as that. I think that's all. Christina, are you up?
I'm here.
I'm forgetting something. What did we discuss this morning that I'm not saying yet? That I didn't say yet?
Sure, Stephen, I can't remember either.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'll do a post if I remember. All right, another thing that we started this week is a photo and a video competition. Where in the motivational group, you can submit one of your own photos of your cats or dogs or horses or lions or whatever you want to post. I put that in a folder, and the five people will then decide who is the best 3 photos, who posted the best 3 photos. You can post more than once. You can post every day if you want. And we will put them then on a short list of 3, post them in a group again at the end of December, and then the group will decide which is the best one. Best photo and best video, I will sponsor a profile in somewhere on a good board. So let the photos start coming in. I think we've got just under 20 in so far. And I think 1 video. The photos that I post don't count, unfortunately. I can't sponsor myself a profile in. Right, questions? No questions. What are you too quiet?
Hi, Captain. How are you?
I'm good, and you, Anthony?
I'm fine. What I have a problem with is that the lack of communication in the chat groups, that there's only one or two people that normally uh, respond on anything you say, and the rest is just quiet, no response from nobody. And
You
so
talk
if
too
the
much in
board
the
is
groups, Anthony.
okay,
Remember, if you say good morning in a group, and you do that in 10 groups that you're in, that means there's 10 more messages at the top of my message list. That means I need to scroll down further. I've got 844 messages left currently.
mhm.
I'm telling you straight, Anthony, you're talking too much in the groups. Don't say good morning and don't ask the people how it's going. The moment that there's a gifter coming, yes, then you start communicating. Keep the groups for communication when you're loading a gifter. If you need a link, say, right, who's sending the link, and look at the board. Post a photo of the board and work out. You can ask for guidance. I don't mind to go tag me if you need my guidance. But by now you're supposed to be used to where the link comes from. We fill one side. If we started on the right-hand side, start with builder 3 or 4 and get links out. Every builder, if they got a empty circle, sends out 2 links. Some of the boards, the guide is short of a invitee, so they'll have half a circle. Some guides even end up without a circle in the guide position. Then the guide send out the links first. We will work accordingly on the next boards. So keep the chat group for when there is movement, when we're loading a gifter, to organize a link and to get the gifter on, get the photo on, so Christina can capture for the file, and so that the legend can confirm and gifting can be arranged.
We'll do that, Captain. To keep well.
Good. And then after this call, give me a call on Telegram so I can talk to you about your use of language. We will somewhere in future on the motivational call speak about the word problem. I don't like that word. You need to do a mind shift. Take anything that you see as a problem and split it up into a challenge or an issue. And it's very, very easy to differentiate between what is a challenge and what is an issue. A challenge is when you can sort it yourself. Like when you're driving down the road and you get a flat tire, you open the boot and take out the spare and put it on. That's a challenge. But if your spare wheel is flat or your jack isn't working, then it becomes a challenge because now you need to call a friend to come help. It's still not a problem. The word problem comes from Latin, which means unsolvable. Go Google it. You will find it there somewhere. Unsolvable. The root word of problem is unsolvable. And we don't deal with those things. We deal with challenges or issues because that we can resolve either on your own or with assistance from me or anybody of your friends who can help you. Good. There's a message here from Raquel. Good morning. I'm going to read it out. Would you know if the groups that were separated in the beginning when we started, does compression put them back together? Unfortunately, compression is an automated process. Now, right at the beginning, I think it was from roughly about the first 10 to 11 days, when you invited somebody, your invitee ended up on another board. When they cycle through with the current algorithm like it's sitting, they will fall behind you. So that's the only way where your invitee can be on the same board as you when they cycle through. I saw 2 boards this morning where a builder was filled with completely a strange person. So it looks like the system is taking boards who don't have many people on, 3 or 2 or 1, and they're trying to fill or get those profiles somewhere on a board, even if it's then in a boulder position. I spoke to somebody this morning who landed in boulder number 2 position, and he said to me he was a guide all alone on a board, but now he's on a board again. So his 2 invitees will eventually follow through, and whoever else is on the board will push him back to guide and eventually to legend. It is not a fast process, that I can guarantee you. There's a lot of boards with 2 or 3 people. I'm sitting on a board also all alone still as a guide. All the other people disappeared. There's a DCP board where the left side is empty, and on the right side I'm the guide, and there's 1 boulder and no legend. So those boards will slowly over time get compressed. There's 7 stages of compression, and then it doesn't stop. It's ongoing. If somebody in future decide not to carry on and not to log in and they get removed, the system will fill that position eventually. Or if you're clever enough and the legend works together, fill it from a gifter position. Very easy to do that, as we've been doing for the last 8 weeks. Does that answer your question, Raquel?
Kind of. I mean, I just assumed, like, for instance, if 2 boards were going through compression and they belong to the same, I guess, lineage, that the system would recognize that and put it back together.
If there's open positions, let's say you find a board where boulder number 2 and boulder 4 is open, and you sitting on a board with only 2 profiles, yourself and maybe one of your invitees, they will land on the same board. The system will recognize that because you are linked. The system recognizes you as a link because it's your invitee.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I can't guarantee that 100%. It may happen that 2 boards get compressed at the same time, and in the process of putting you maybe in boulder number 4, somebody from another board ends up in boulder 2 position. But then again, just wait, let the board cycle, work on the board, get it cycled. Eventually your invitee will follow you on the next bronze board.
Thank you.
Okay, something on regarding the version 2s. We've got 2 legends now with version 2 profiles, where the whole board is only version 2 profiles. What we do then, we will operate that board from the sponsor profiles. The advantage that we've got now, that version 2 is not following a boulder. The link most of the time did not come from the boulder. It came either from the legend position or from the guide position. So that means what we planned with the version 2 is to get them a little bit faster through to the silver so that they can reactivate their version 1 profile, is to skip the boulders. The boulders already had their 2s in. So we tried to get the link first from the legend. If the legend didn't respond fast enough, we got links from the guides. So those version 2s are now very soon going to go over to silver. I think there's seven total version 2 legends currently. And once they go up to silver legend position, they can, with the first gift there, reactivate. The advantage now is they've got the boulders that is actually on the same level as them. They were a gifter as a version 2 on the board, but they're on the same level as the boulders. So the boulders, all their 2s, their 2 invitees will help push them through once they hit the silver board. It's all coming together. I love it when a plan comes together. What was that thing long ago? The A-team. The plans are coming together. All the hard work is starting to flow. I looked at a few interesting boards this morning, perpetual boards where people started working on their own. And it's unbelievable how quickly you can finish a board or half of a board. Not long ago, I split off one side of the board. And eventually we got a profile to legend position. And when he reached a legend position, it was only his team on the board left. And then I started working on the right. So there were 4 splits. And by the time I started working on the board, the first one of those original profiles started coming through to fill on the other side. The splitting of the boards works if you keep on working. You must just make sure you keep on working. And keep on working is going to be much easier next year. There's some good things coming in Gift of Legacy. I had a long discussion with Chris this week. We had a meeting about my health first of all, and then we had a general discussion about where we're standing with compression and stuff. And they understand all the challenges that we had. We had 9 months after January up to October, and then basically the baby was born. We're still busy in the growing phase. And I've seen many platforms collapse. They come in with funny schemes and they're rushing and they collapse. They claim they're a gifting community. I can tell you now that's not gifting, that's investment. They are collapsing, they're not making it because the system, the service are not strong enough, first of all. And second of all, they're rushing. They're rushing their programs. There's another one that's going to launch next year. I can tell you now it's going to fail. The algorithms is not going to work together. We started with Gift of Legacy, and not once did we have a server collapse. They shut down the system a while to get things more streamlined, to make it faster with login. But we're still going, and we're now approaching. Yeah, we're in the 11th month. We're in the 12th month now. It's the 10th today. We're 11 months old. Where's the birthday cake and the candles? All right, any more questions?
Stefan, there's just one thing that Gift of Legacy is not deleting profiles. People are abandoning their profiles, and therefore they get removed. And I know it is a pain to log into your profile, especially if you've got more than 5 or 10, but it's only once a month. And honestly, if you can't look at that profile once a month, then maybe, and I'm not talking to anyone on the call, but if people don't log in, it's once a month, it's only 12 times a year. And Gift of Legacy has got the potential to do so much for us financially. Then maybe Gift of Legacy is not the space for you. It's not a lot to log in once a month. If you've got
yeah, it's
lots
definitely
of
not so
profiles,
much. It's definitely
and
not so much. Let me just give you the sequence of getting your profile into a red state. You've got 30 days. On day 23, you get a 7-day warning mail and your block becomes red. From there, you've got 7 days to reactivate yourself. 5 days later, on day 28, you get a 48-hour warning that your profile is going to be deleted. On 30 days, you can't reactivate, but the legend still got 2 more days to reactivate you. So if you in that 32 days don't log in once, then this is not the space for you. Definitely not. What is so difficult to once a week or once every 14 days, just log in. If you are interested, I will never show my file to anybody, but you can come visit me. I will let you sit next to me and show you my file and how I mark each profile that gets checked and how we update the file to say which position the profile is in. It takes me maximum of 2 minutes if I do it very slowly. If there's some work to be done on the board, it sometimes takes me 3-4 minutes. Sometimes there's an opening and we want a link, and then that communication will take me 10 minutes. But that's not often that it happens because I log in once a week. So mostly the boards is exactly the same, or there's new gifters on, but there's no builders missing because we're working together on the boards. So if you don't log in often enough, Gift of Legacy does not delete any profile. You either got a choice of quitting, there's a quit button, or you fail to log in, and then your profile will disappear. There's more than 300,000 profiles that's off the boards because people didn't log in. Of the original 7,900, there's just over 4,000 people, sorry, over 3,000 who never logged in once. They logged in the first time when they claimed their profile, and that was the last time. They never ever logged in again. So those people are not for us, and this space is not for them. Let them go in love. Let them go find something else. Right, any other questions? Silence is golden. Elise, anything else you want to add before we close off?
No, I'm good for now. I'm sorry I came in a bit late, so I don't know whether you mentioned about the groups.
Yes, yes, that is the
And-
first thing we covered, where I explained that if you guide them through, the message will basically come from me. So, and if people don't believe you, just forward the message, the private message between the two of us to the group so that they can see that it's coming from me. For the people that don't
Okay.
know my name on Telegram, it's the servant. That is my username. And don't
Okay,
try
thank
to
you.
clone me. There's 27 clones that's already been deleted. I've been cloned 27 times already. There's one little thing I do on my profile that nobody can copy. So we know immediately when it's a clone. Right, then we're done for now. Get your photos in. Prepare for rain. We are building up a little bit of a spare fund between myself and Bobby for next year, where we're gonna selectively work on a few boards to get more flow towards the sponsor profiles. Remember, we've got sponsor profiles on the submarine. We've got sponsor profiles from the start board on the Eagles, and on all the other vehicles, I did load over time a lot of sponsor profiles. Total sponsor profiles at this stage is, where's my file? Let me just go over there. Sponsor and trust, 374 that I've got control over. But also remember that all my own profiles, after I bought a little bit of food for the week, goes for sponsorships. I sponsor people in. I like it. It is one of the most fun things to do, is to phone somebody and say, there's a link coming for you. I will do the gifting to the legend. Right. If there's no more questions, you can unmute and shout bye. Recording will be up somewhere in the next few minutes, depending on how fast it uploads.
Thanks, Captain.
Bye
You're
bye.
welcome.
Thank
Bye,
you.
brother.
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye,
Thanks,
Raquel.
Kevin. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye, Lizette. Bye,
Have a
Paula.
good
Bye,
week.
Emma. Bye,
Bye.
Anthony. Anthony, I'll give you a call a bit later.
Okay, Captain.
Bye, Captain.
I'll send you a message,
Bye.
Captain. Bye.
Right. That's it.